How you doing, everybody? Hi, Eddie. Hi, Bruce. How's it going? Hey, today I thought it would be sort of fun to talk about the watches that are sort of overlooked, and they're pretty cool watches. Hi, Mark. And the right before I started, I was looking at a watch that was on the High Horology Lounge, Bruce. And the and there was this watch there that I saw, and the parts of it were covered up. Hi Javier, hi Matia. Anyway, the it turned out to be a Chopard, and I thought it was sort of neat. A Chopard, yeah, a Chopard called a Pro One, and I really hadn't heard of it. Has anybody know of a had or owns a Chopard Pro One or ever owned one? It's it, and I went looking for it, and they were about the one I found was a good looking one. It was about $4,000. Hi, Eric. Um, so that was one thing I sort of found by accident, as it looks like a watch that really might be an interesting one to have. The Fell, who was the guy who had it, said that he really liked the movement in it, but I don't know what that movement is. Epra, how you doing? And no idea. Stefan, right? Redskins and Junior. How you doing, guys? Um, so that's that's one brand we may look at. Some of the older Chopards, though, I know are different kinds of movements and so on and so forth. Hi, Randy. And the LUC Chopards are ones that are sort of like they guaranteed good in-house movement. But some of the older ones I just don't know about. Um, and so I thought, well, that might be something we could take a look at. Um, so, anybody ever hear of a Chopard Pro One? Hey, Mark, if you hold a baguette, you would be a different. Yeah, all I need is a baguette or a string of olives. It looked like an olive seller. Hey, mainland Japan, how you doing? Paul, how are you? Anyway, so I guess none of you know about that. Okay, well that's something that you might want to look into. What are some other uh, really good watches that seem to be undervalued and look like good buys? Any candidates out there? Hey, Seabig, uh, come on. There's life beyond Rolex, guys. A lot of it. So, hey, fly fishing crazy. How are you? Hey, Clyde, how you doing? I missed the morning show. Well, Junior, that's okay. We had, yeah, that's how come I decided to have two of them. While we're all sort of cooped up here. I would say Grand Seiko and Crador. Um, yeah, Grand Seiko seems to be pretty well known, and there's a lot of I don't know, I guess discussion about it. Um, a lot of JLCs. Stefan, you gotta watch what language you use. Slept in. Well, that's okay. Williams watches. How you doing? Um, Kidok. In terms of undervalued watches, I think Chrono Swiss has some true gems. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Chrono Swiss is sort of an interesting one. Brigade type 20. Yeah, that's another one that I think is sort of interesting. Stefan, don't worry about it. It automatically grabs it. Um, okay, let's see. Consider New York is in complete lockdown. Yeah, New York is, and Connecticut. I don't know. There are a number of different guys that are. We're all in lockdown. Um, Hey, Fahrenheit. All I know is this: when reality comes knocking, a lot of people will discover a lot of overhyped, overprices in their own collection. You don't want to find that. What we're looking for is underpriced, underhyped. Um, hey, Truth Fears, how's it going? Javier, let's say your coworker saw sales on Cyrus watches, but don't know much about them. I don't either. Creedor, you mentioned Creedor. That's one that I think that was part of Seiko. I think at one time or still is, and I'm not sure they know what to do with them. Jules Audemars. Yes, I agree, Paul. That's a good example. Um, yeah. Hey, Eddie, Henry Double Hairspring. Not a bad one. I don't, but I think they're hard to find anymore. Yeah, and most independents. You're right about that. We talked a lot about Parmigianis and H. Moser. I was thinking there's some other ones that we might consider. Vacheron Constantin. You know, Clyde, it's funny that you mentioned that because I agree with you on that one. Uh, Dornbruth and Son. Yeah, that's another good one, but uh, oh, Ichi 2, yes, but those are not that's not exactly underpriced, is it? Ichi 2 is Stefan, isn't the Ichi 2 a God, I forgot who did that. But that is really a major one. Hi Howard, the LUC. Yeah, LUC, I think everyone knows LUC. The hard thing, but I mean, it's still a good example. The Bulgari Octo, exactly. C big, Longines. Yeah, some of them are. What I'm trying to find really is sort of like a luxury watch, a true luxury watch. They have their own movement, or they have something interesting about it. On this side of the vintage. There's a lot of vintage that have all kinds of great deals on those, but that's Piaget Polo S. That's a great example, Clyde. The Piaget, that's a very interesting one. It looks like a Nautilus, you know. What do you think about Chopek? Oh yeah, Chopek's a good example, Mark. Chopek's a really good example, but they're not quite underpriced yet. But they're really neat watches. Um, my next one's an Octo. Yeah, you know the thing about the Octo. I was just looking at something today about that, and there was that thin one they have, that the Finissimo, and then they have the chronograph. They got the chronograph GMT. Both won Grand Prix awards. Both of them have really great in-house movements. And see, the thing about Bulgari and IWC, I was talking to somebody this morning, said uh, his daughter or somebody who lived in Japan, and he saw a really good deal on this IWC. And so he gave me the number on the thing, the reference number. So I looked it up, and it was an ETA movement. I mean, it's like, that's what I mean. IWC's got some really great movements and some great stuff. All they got to do, tell us the truth about it, and then you're going to have to charge less if you're going to put in an inexpensive movement. And there's nothing wrong with ETAs as long as you know what you're getting. Uh, Kratos part of Seiko, very nice if expensive. Yeah, they have Randy, Kratos or whatever they're called. Um, they have some pretty good buys on those. Fly fishing crazy. I agree. Gerard Perregaux, that's a very good example where you can find some really good deals. The fact there's a difference between holding its price and holding its value. By and large, watches don't lose their value. They may lose their resale price, but that's not losing value. Watches keep their value, but they may go down in price. This is a bugle call for people like me. That's the ones I want, but they're the same value. I mean, it's like this. I don't know what the original price was, but it went way down because people didn't like it for whatever reason, and so now it's going back up again because there aren't as many. The same thing happened with the Parmigiani Hebdo Damari. Those things have gone back up again. Hey, DP, Joe Genta with GP Movements. Yes, I agree. DP 45, 47. Your nickname from now on is just going to be 7. Let's see. Creedor, that's the one. Creedor makes the Ichi too? I didn't know that. Whoa, I thought it was somebody. There's this really great Japanese watchmaker designer. Arnold and Son, another good example. Mati, how do you pronounce your name? Matiha? Anyway, Mariha. I'll call you Mariha, like Marihara. Arnold and Son's a great one. Bruce Blue, Tudor Blackberry. Yeah, those are pretty well known, though. I mean, those are great deals. I agree with that. Cartier, there's certain Cartiers that are really great, but Cartier is sort of like that, the box of chocolates. You never know what's going to be inside. Can you find good deals on Lang and Heim? No. I wish you could. I can't. I mean, God, wouldn't I love to have a Georg or something like that? Boy, that would be a great watch to have. And they also have this fabulous Remontoir Egalite, which I'd love to have too. But man, they're really expensive. Ming, they're really nice things, and they're good prices. I don't think Ming makes her own movements, do they? I may be wrong, but I don't think so. Moritz Grossman. Moritz Grossman has some extremely good watches, but their prices are crazy high. There's a story about Krator's Aichi designer. You don't remember? Oh, that's okay. I don't remember it either. Hey, Mark, Zodiac. You like the Zodiac? What's it called? The Sea Wolf or something like that. That's sort of a cool one. Hey, Fahrenheit. When all this is over, I'll treat myself with a Chopek if the brand still exists. Now, come on now. Well, I see when all of this big mess is over. Yeah, maybe none of them will exist. I'll have to give them away. And what we ought to start is an orphanage for watches that didn't make it through the pandemic. And we'll just have to take care of them. Somebody's got to do it. It might as well be us. Cartier is, yeah. Okay. Smith, about snow falling in northern Japan, white porcelain dial. Something about the snow falling in northern Japan, white porcelain dial. Yeah, they're gorgeous. Hotulence, Javier. Hotulence right now, there's some great deals. They've been like really good buys for Hotulence on Touch of Modern. There are really some good buys on it. That's a great example. Hodor Creedor. Super Seawolf. That's the one, Bruce. Yeah. Yes, Seabig. The Vesron Constantin Quadrille. Yeah. Is a super good watch and a super good buy. and one I ought to probably focus on instead of everything else that I do. Secron. What's a Secron? Junior? I didn't see where's Junior. Vinny Zodiac. Okay, yeah. Well, any Zodiac is so there's some interesting watches. Hotulence is a sister company to Moser. I think it is, Howard. I think there's some kind of relationship there. They were like, hot as a pistol a few years ago, and all of a sudden they went cold for whatever reason. And now they're just like super good buys for them on a Touch of Modern. Chronoswiss, yeah. Here's the thing about Chronoswiss. I like Chronoswiss designs and so forth, but I think aren't most Chronoswiss running on ETAs. I could be wrong about that, but that was my one thing about it. But they got some cool watches. Hi, Epra. What do you think of Edward Mellon's brother? Is the head of it? Edwin Mellon. Oh, is he? I didn't know that, Eddie. Thank you. Ephra, let's see. What do you think about Vice watches or Oak and Oscar? Oak and Oscar are there's sort of a micro brand, and they don't make their own movements, but they're interesting guys. I'll put it that way. How do you highlight someone's name when addressing them in this chat? I don't know. A lot of people use the @ sign, I think, and put their thing name on. Yeah, that's right, Bruce. What's wrong with you guys? Never any love for Urban Jurgensen. A lot of it. I love those watches, but they're not good. I mean, they're expensive. There's nothing about them that's really a great deal. But they're wonderful. Good grief, they're wonderful watches. Breguet, yeah, but I when I was in the boutique in New York, I was looking at this really great. What was it? Heritage. I think it was a Heritage. They have two. Oh wait, no, it was a Tradition. That's how I always confuse those two with Breguet. And they had a picture of Abraham Breguet's watch, and then they had this Tradition right next to it, and they were the same colors and everything else. They wanted something like 39,000 for that thing, which is like, oh, holy smoke! That's not a cheap watch. But then I found one pretty much like it on Chrono for around 11 and new. So, it's sort of hard to be a Swatch-owned company and have too much swagger. I'll put it that way. Okay, let me see. A lot of Chronoswiss have ETA or Enocar based, but are heavily modified. The Delphis, which is my favorite model, has a Enocar movement and is modified to have jump hours and retrograde minutes. Oh, okay, that's cool. Regarding Hotulence, I don't know either. Okay, a big yellow gold watch compared a lot of yellow gold watches compared to stainless steel. I like gold. I like yellow gold. This is white gold, and I can't tell the difference between white gold and stainless steel. I mean, I really can't. It's heavier. You got the weight, and it's okay, but I can't tell the difference between platinum, white gold, and stainless steel. And I have favorite watches that are all of the above. My favorite stainless steel is my Lang & Heim. My favorite platinum and my only platinum is a Chronomet Souverain. And this is my favorite white gold because it's the only one I have. Hey, Chivalry Mike, Maurice Lacroix Masterpiece. Yes, yeah, those are good deals too. Thing about Maurice Lacroix masterpiece. Um, they play a lot of games with their names, unfortunately, because I really like Maurice Lacroix. Um, so I'll let it go at that for now. But I do like them. They're extremely well made, but and their own movements that they make are quite good. But they use some other ones, and they don't. Do you Cuervo y Sobrinos watches used? Love those watches. Those are some of the most innovative watches, Javier, but they're all running on ETAs and similar ones. Hi there, Stifle. How you doing, man? Let's see. Hi there. Uh, okay, it's there. Hiya there. Okay. All right, working out stuff now. Let's see. What are some other good buys? Ones that sort of get overlooked. Uh, hey, Captain Hook. Glad you made it. Um, okay. Butcher, that is one. Who said Carl Butcher? This was one that I started to find out about. And the reason I always overlooked it, I first of all, I had some, I guess there were wrong assumptions about it. And I was looking at it today, and they have some really nice watches. They have this one with the peripheral rotor on it. That's their own. That's their own work. So that's one I think that really needs a lot more of attention, and I think there's some very good buys. Uh, they've entered the Grand Prix a number of times, and I think they made it to first base, but they never went beyond that. And perhaps that was what I missed. Omega Aquaterra. Yeah, that is a good one, Clyde. Aquaterra. You know, maybe I'm one of the few people, or maybe the only person, who really likes the Seamasters, sort of that whole line, better than I do the Speedmasters, even though the classic wind-up Speedmaster is really something. Small independents can go into hibernation and go on for a year or so. Yeah, and they can keep their day job, in the mailroom or whatever they're doing, and then they come back out. The ones that are going to be hurt, though, I think, man, I tell you, you hate to see companies you like, even if they abuse us, and they all do if they can get away with it. You still hate to see them, hurt in any way. DP 4547, the Omega Railmaster is another cool one. So that's another nice one. Constellation, yeah, the Omega Constellation. I think it is Omega something or other. Maybe it is a Constellation for that's a world timer. That's a really good watch. See, I'm seeing mixed messages about Hotulence. One article said Bertram Malin was CEO, another said Edward was. I saw another article saying Sandro Riganelli, the founder, was. Who knows? Omega Globemaster. That's right, Bruce. That's what I was thinking of. I like the Omega Tesser. Tesser. I don't know that one, C Big. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Rolf Lang. Eddie, wait a minute. Yeah, Rolf Lang is a great one. Rolf is, I don't know what Rolf is going to do. He had this big plan and all of this stuff worked out. And we had a major company interested in marketing this stuff and everything. And then bam, all of this other stuff happened. So I just don't know. But boy, I tell you, those Rolf Langs are really wonderful watches. Think Longines is putting out good stuff in general. Yeah, they have one of the things that Longines can do, Clyde, is that since they're owned by Swatch, they can get, I think, a little better stuff created for them. The same thing with Hamilton. A lot of really nice Hamiltons. Uh, any knowledge of the Gerald Genta with GP movements? Currently looking for a few. You know, oh man, it's that is one of the things I like. I've sort of always wanted a Gerald Genta with the jumping hours or one of the other sort of cool things they have, but I'm never sure of the movements. I don't think Genta was a watchmaker. One thing I read was that he never made his own movements because he was primarily a designer, but that may not be all correct either. So this is one of those mysteries. Okay, what else you got? DeVille. DeVille. Yeah, DeVille's a. Yeah, I don't know. I for some reason Omega to me is a sports watch company, and while the DeVille, the same thing with Rolex, Cellini, I just don't see them with dress watches, and that's me. But that nothing wrong with them. I mean, they're good looking, but I just like not what I'd probably be looking at. One of my favorite, one thing I think is overlooked to some extent is Glashütte Original and Nomos. I mean, like Nomos is really popular, but I think it's primarily in Germany, more so than other places where it's a great watch. Rolf Lang is great at bringing younger people into the hobby. When I was wearing it, I had to show how to watch someone who in their 20s to see what time it was. Come on, Clyde. That was a cheap shot. It really was. Uh, yeah, it was hard to read because of the color combination wasn't the greatest. The gray and the silver just weren't so hot together. Bubba B, Beauvais. Yeah, there's some really good stuff on Beauvais. Let's see. It's only one thing to see a picture of a great craftsman. It's another to see it in your hands. I agree. That's one thing. You guys could turn that thing over on its back. You had no problem seeing that. I was busy making waffles. Okay. Anyway, well, those I guess there are a lot more that I hadn't thought of. See, Mark just bought a blue watch with blue hands. What time is it? I don't know. It's blue time. Waffles. All right. Trying to think of another one. There was another one that Buchner is one I want to find out more about. You got me on these other ones. Beautiful movements on the role playing. Yeah, they are. I tell you there are a lot of things on just about every watch that could be improved. On my Harry Winston, they piled on a ton of gold to make the case, and then they have the colors and everything. Really a great looking watch, but not the easiest one to tell the time. Here you have a 30-second retro grade secondhand going back and forth. Not that any other are much help. What are those ones that go really fast? The Fleur Runte or something like that. Fleur, they start with an F. Waffles rule. Time and weekend is done. I'll have waffles, pancakes, chocolate chip cookies done. Sen's built quality and engineering, seriously undervalued. Yeah, a lot of people, Eric, talk about Sen watches as really good ones. They're also honest about it, too. Just got making some homemade chicken salad. Okay. Well, that sounds healthy, Clyde. Homemade chicken salad. There's a chicken Caesar salad that can be very good. What do you think of Urek? Eddie, I think they've got some good movements. The design is not one that's for me. I'll put it that way. Most of their designs, they're very, they look like they belong in a Star Trek movie or something, but it doesn't mean they're not interesting. It's just, that's not one of the ones that I'm crazy about. Um, okay. Real chicken salad or survivalist ration. Okay. Rehydrate. Jesus. Okay, no. Well, I'll tell you, I had to drive to find eggs, but it worked out. Eggs. You guys ought to and that's something you would love my block. Here's how they sell eggs on my block. There's a guy down the street, and he has like this little, looks like a little covered wagon, and there are eggs in it, and then there's a little box, and you stick money in the box and take the eggs, and that's how it's done. And he's got a bunch of chickens out in the back, and so it comes in. There are a couple different places around here that do that, and people just either leave the money on the porch or put it in a cigar box and take your eggs. So okay. From watches to food. Well, it looks like food's winning right now. Yeah, drop the money and pick the egg. That's right. The secret is to use a good blender to shred. Jesus. I did a duck. All right. Hey, James, too. Uh, Ford Yante or some is the term. You're right. That's the one I was trying to think of. Been considering a brigade, but I can't decide on the style I want. Are the movements generally good? I don't know. That's really funny. I like the tradition of the brigade so much that I didn't. I I can see it on the tradition, but you know, there's been some deconstructions of the brigade movements in Naked's Watchmaker. So that's something you might want to take a look at. Hey, Andres, Parmigiani, yeah, that's one of the ones we talked about a lot. The Parmigiani and H. Moser, but you're right; those are great buys. Uh, okay, let's see. The new brigades they announced this week are the ones to get. Okay. Um, all right. Listen, guys, time to run. Thank you all for coming. And I'll just keep having the regular ones. They'll be at 8 o'clock in the morning and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, except for Saturdays, where I'm going to try to find something like we did today, sort of looking at the kind of movements. Anyway, thanks for coming. And like I said, well, as long as we're under the quarantine, we'll have this. Take care.